Welcome to Spotlight on the Arts. I'm Patrick Christiano, your host, the publisher of TheaterLife.com, a website for theater buffs covering all things theater, and we cover Broadway and off-Broadway theater and the theater out here in East Hampton. I have a really special guest today, my dear friends, Amy Zerner and Monte Farber. They are extraordinary psychics, artists, new spirit. How can I describe you that really, there's no one word to say who you are, but thank you so much for coming. And your team work is an extraordinary piece of your artwork too.
Thank you, Patrick. So nice to see you again.
Yeah, we've known each other for so long. It's so wonderful to be here today.
Oh, well, it's my pleasure to have you all the time. Amy is a collage artist, a designer. You make
One of a kind
couture
couture for Bergdorf Goodman.
and Shirley MacLaine and Elizabeth Taylor, who's
Yes, wonderful
deceased.
clients. I've been there for 23 years. I can't believe it. But wonderful clients, and I love to do custom pieces for my clients. And I go from one thing to the other, making the tapestries, then we do the books together, and we have a very creative life, and it is hard to put a label on it.
But it's called The Enchanted World
Yeah.
of Amy Zerner and Monte Farber.
Yeah.
And it's also a channeling of your love
Yeah.
Yeah.
for each other and how that extends to the things around you as well, and as an expression. Your artwork's an expression of it. But you as a psychic, and the two of you, there's just this synergy.
Well,
Yes.
doing the books made me psychic. I mean, Amy and I have known each other since 1974.
Wait, you weren't psychic before?
I was intuitive, but now I do it professionally.
So you had a strong intuition, but you really didn't know how powerful it was.
Yes, I saw Amy in a dream when I was 14, and my father was a police sergeant. And I said, I saw the woman I love in a dream. And he's like, what do you know about love?
You knew the woman you loved.
Right, I got the feeling of love that I have now when I was 14. It was like, I want to go back to sleep, but I couldn't.
Real quickly, how many books have you published, and how many years?
I think almost 50. We kind of lost
And how many
count.
years is it that you're married?
We've been together since '74, so we're closing in on 50 years.
And you've been publishing books for 50 years too?
Well, we don't self-publish, but we're with some of the biggest publishers in the world.
1988 was our first one. So sometimes we do more than one book a year.
Yeah, and
And we just got asked to do a few more, so it's a career that keeps going and it keeps feeding our souls.
we had an influence on the world in a lot of ways, and one of the ways is now everybody has an oracle deck, and everyone is
Knows
doing
their
spiritual clothing.
We have a whole bunch of stuff here. Let's show them the picture. You have a collection. The picture there, we have all your books all put out on. Look at all these things. And we have some of them here too, in the studio right now. But tell us what some of them are.
Well, a lot of them are oracles where they're meditation tools to tune into the moment. You and I were talking about that
Yes,
before.
which
Yes.
you can take that picture down. I use a lot of those tools frequently because you've been on my show when it first started,
Mhm.
and I think back then I got
Wow.
what did I get?
You have a mighty
I
collection.
got the goddess cards, the tarot cards, and the goddess cards. And at the first I used to use them all the time, but I don't have a routine.
Well,
except
no,
for
that's the way you should use them, is what you feel like
when
that
you feel
day.
like you need an inspiration or some
Yeah.
kind of guidance that
It's a
you.
little timeout where you're grounding yourself and tuning into what your thoughts are, what your desires are. You pick a card and you get a message, and it's usually my artwork and Monte's words.
And they're designed to bring out from within you the answer, because the answer is within all of us.
It
We all
triggers
have
your
our own-
intuition, yeah.
We all have our own answers, I believe that
Exactly,
too.
Yeah.
But you need something outside you to stimulate it for
Yeah,
you
it-
to discover
yeah.
it.
It's priming the pump, really.
That's how an oracle or the tarot is an oracle. And that's how it works. It triggers a response. And we all are intuitive also, but sometimes you need to practice. And that's what these are also tools like exercise machines.
And I'm all for that. It's like exercise for the spirit.
Yes.
Exactly, because it's sort of metaphysical fitness. Because people are so into fitness, which is wonderful, but if you're not metaphysically fit, if you can't lift the weights of your problems off of yourself and solve them, being physically fit's not gonna help. Look at all the physically fit people who unfortunately are not happy.
Because I'm not one of them.
But that's what I mean, that,
Mind, body, and spirit.
it's gotta be the three. Two of those books are books about Amy's art, two coffee table books about Amy's art, because she's an NEA award-winning tapestry artist, and we use her collages to illustrate the books.
It's a perfect collaboration, really.
So this, now you have a new book. Can we show them the new book, the Karmic Birthday book? Let's have we have it here too, but there it is on the screen.
So there's messages for each day of the year, and this was a little different. Monte channeled the answers. In other words, I would say a birth date and write down what he saw for that birthday, because people say, how did you come up with this?
Oh, that's it. I was
It's not
thinking the same
It's not
thing.
astrology, it's my PhD as a psychic.
And it's so accurate. Everyone who reads their birthday can't believe how accurate it is.
Well, no, we were just talking about that before we went on the air, and my birthday was just this past Wednesday. We're not going to say how old, but I'm not young
You're doing
anymore.
something right.
And I found this really fascinating because I feel like I have just recently discovered a secret about myself.
We have a secret for every birthday.
And in the birthday, the secret that I think I just discovered, you wrote it down. But I was thinking it before, and then I saw it, visually materialized in front of me. I think this is really, really true.
I love it.
Shall I share it?
Yes,
Shall I share it?
You just
And
made
share
my
your
day.
secret.
So this. Well, maybe I shouldn't share it.
Well, it ain't a secret no more. once you
Because
share it.
then you can't manifest it, right?
Well, it is.
No.
Let me tell you guys, the secret in this book for my birthday is right on. I'm not going to share it with you though.
Well, that's the first
We
rule.
know what it
The
is.
first
But
rule
they
of-
know what it is, so I'm just sharing it with, not with you guys, only them.
if you wanna make
But you have to get the book and find out what your secret is now.
It's true. Sometimes in the beginning of wanting to manifest a goal or a
You-
desire,
it's
you
not-
should keep it to yourself.
See, I'm smart.
Yes. You're intuitive.
But that's because I'm with you, because
You do feel that from other people.
yes, if you let yourself,
Yes.
if you're open to
Yes.
what other people are bringing.
Yes,
And
true.
that's why I have so much fun with you.
Yes. Well, I think you're open, you're a creative person, and we feel it when people are closed off too, right? But we try to get them open up by playing. These are games you can play and have fun with. too.
Well, that's the whole point,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Yes. So shall we talk about some more of them?
So this is the creativity oracle and matches my outfit. And it's all about the creative process, which we happen to be experts in.
Yeah.
It's
And-
for writers and artists and people that are working on a project. You said you were working on a project, and you can pick a card along the way.
Mm-hmm.
And it has 80 cards, which are 80 concepts that Monte came up with.
And it's designed to help you sell your project as well. It's not just make your
It tells
project.
you when to pitch it. It tells you when you need more support around it, when
Oh,
it's
wow.
time to pull back.
Yeah,
It's all the things that we've learned, in doing all of our projects.
because we've been very fortunate, we've never used an agent, hardly used an attorney. I have some past life.
Hardly.
Monte channels a
For
lawyer.
copyright issues, but I've channeled since I'm 14, I've been able to read contracts, it must be a past lifetime. And so we have sold our projects and we've interacted with the publishers, and so we actually know how they think, because they're creative in their way too, they're artists in their way too, and that's how you really have to think of people
It's
as,
true.
as
It's
an
true.
artist.
It's
Yes.
I mean, it's
Yes.
an artistic community. Then you all really have the same goal
It's
in
true.
mind.
And they all face problems and they solve them creatively. And that's why we respect the people we work with. And we think that's why they want to work with us. That's why we have people, we have 5 publishers asking us to do projects.
And this one came out last year. It's called the Intuition Oracle. And again, it's focused around stimulating your intuition, learning to trust it, because that's the main issue. We're afraid to trust it. We're not really educated to trust something so mysterious, right? People want to be logical in their decisions, but sometimes it's that first instinct that you feel, and this can confirm that.
Right. How does it do that?
It's the same way where you shuffle the cards, think of your question,
Should we do one?
Yes.
Sure. I mean, all these, the tarot, the Enchanted Tarot, which is a classic that Amy did It's been out for 30 years, it's sold over 1 million copies.
And we're gonna do one of these now, but also I want to share with you, with our viewers that there's a documentary that it's in the making
Yes.
about the world of,
The whole world of
Yeah,
us.
it's called Amy and Monte with no spaces between the ampersand and our
Yeah.
names, because there's no space between them.
Well, it's like what you were saying in the beginning, it's art, it's fashion, it's books, it's all these things together, and they all blend together in our life.
but it's
So
all about spirituality and love and moving
And
forward.
that's the
manifesting.
foundation,
And- yeah.
yes.
And manifesting. because
Manifesting.
We manifested Anne Marie Serino, who's just incredible, who came to us
Now,
and said
let's,
she wanted
let's
to do
talk,
it.
let's talk about the word manifest.
It's
Yes.
a big one.
How do you manifest something?
We actually have a book about it called Quantum Affirmation.
Give us a basic, what are the 3 basic rules to manifesting something?
The first rule is, what do you want?
Okay,
Because you
so
can't
knowing
get it.
what you want.
Knowing
Yes.
what you want, and that's a whole process, because a lot of times what
I
you.
understand.
Sometimes people are
Right.
vague about
People
that.
are denying, they don't know, people won't even acknowledge what they want.
Right, and
Yeah.
second is, why didn't you get it yet? That's the second. And the third is to visualize it happening.
Why didn't you get it yet? I
The
like that.
history with that.
Yeah, the
You know,
history,
So
maybe you
usually
didn't-
fear.
yeah.
Or you feel you
Yes.
didn't deserve it, or you weren't ready for it.
Or you're jealous of someone else who has it. That's a big one
Oh,
that people
jealousy.
don't.
There's
Oh.
blocks.
Yeah, it's a
there's
big
blocks.
one. And the third one is you have to visualize the future you want to get to, including the problems. Like, this is a terrible example, but if you're gonna win the lottery, people are gonna try and come to you and get money, or if you're gonna inherit money.
Right.
And it's to, people will say, well, that's being negative. No, it's being realistic, and to be realistic about what's gonna happen with your goal.
The whole
Right. There's gonna,
ups and downs.
like, even good things brings negative
Yeah.
things that you have to learn to
It
deal
comes
with.
with the territory.
Mhm.
If you want the one might have smelly socks. You know what I mean? Yeah, and visualize that and say you can handle it.
You can always wash them, right?
Well, that's
You can
just it.
solve that problem.
Because life is problem solving. We're all artists and we all solve problems. So, and we manifest miracles. We feel like Anne Marie is a miracle. She's like an
She's the
answer.
producer, director of the documentary. And
How did she come to you?
she saw us on a Zoom program where we did during the pandemic, where we were reading people's cards and telling our stories. And that was a way to contact the outside world for
Mhm,
us. And
mhm.
she got hooked on us, like,
As
it's
people.
not just tarot, she designs fashion, the whole thing
Mhm,
got her intrigued. And
Mm-hmm.
she had
Anyway,
worked-
that's what she does. She's a documentary filmmaker.
No, she's a feature filmmaker.
Oh, feature
it's her
filmmaker.
first documentary.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. She's done 2 features that you can.
Well, what are
watch.
her featured? What are the films? Anything we know?
Room 203,
Three,
and the other one is Root Letter.
yes.
Yeah.
They're on Hulu, one's on Hulu, one's on Amazon.
Oh, wonderful!
Yeah.
And so this documentary is going to. We have a photo. I just want a glamour photo of Amy and Monte. I'd like to show
Because it
that.
goes back to the
So,
70s.
so this is you
is
as I
us.
think of you
This is us
always,
now.
and it's you today. You have that same shirt on. It looks like.
I got a lot of them.
It does look like, it is.
Oh, cool.
And
And
then
then
the
we have the
poster
poster from
the
the
poster.
document.
I have the poster too from the documentary. Let's see that.
The one that says Amy and Monte.
I love this. This really goes back. This
It
looks
does
like.
from the 70s, and
And-
so we have a lot of footage in the documentary of us from way back then and being on TV in the 80s.
Well, we have a
80s and
lot of
90s.
pictures, because we've been documented, and Amy used to be a photographer. When I first met her, one of our closets was a dark room. We're in the same house the whole time.
Right.
But we've kept the same themes in our life, trying to grow spiritually and creatively.
Well, I mean, if you're trying to grow, it's going to keep you alive and motivated all the
Yes.
time because there's always something to learn.
It's true.
Yeah, and it used to be like, oh my God, I hope I'm not still doing this in my 70s, and now I'm so proud I can still do this in my 70s. That's the aging process in a nutshell.
I find it extraordinary that, I can still learn and discover things and even
Yeah.
learn something about myself that even if it's just a little subtle adjustment,
Yes,
it's
I
something,
agree.
and the more wisdom you have, the more little adjustments really make a big difference.
Yes.
It's like,
Yes.
And it helps relationships so much.
and it also keeps the flow.
Yes,
It never allows anything to get stagnant.
totally. I
That-
look forward to going.
That's why we want you to do your book, because you have enough ambition to do it.
So do you want to ask first?
Yes, what would
Just
these
say you can ask for a message for the day, or, it can be that kind of a part of your wellness routine where you pick a message for the day and think about what it says.
Okay, so let's get the message for, you wanted to bring Truman in. So
Yeah, for sure.
we
Love
have this
Truman.
incredible creature that's here on the floor. Truman, do you
What
want
a
to come
good
in?
boy.
But
He's
but
meditating.
he's really meditating. I think we should bring him in to you.
I think he's in the flow.
Let's leave him there.
He's so smart.
He's on the floor, but he's gonna be in a show next week, so we're gonna ask what the message is
For
for
Truman.
dealing with the show so that he does the best he
That's a
possibly
good-
can.
That's a good
Okay.
message. Since
Okay,
And just think about that. Because that's what oracles really are. They're like Google. They're a search engine. And you ask a question, you get an answer, and then you have to figure out what the heck it's talking about.
One-
And the ones
that
that
one doesn't
jump,
count.
those are called jumpers in the industry.
and what does that
It
mean?
wants to give you a message.
It wants to give you a message. So you read them both.
Oh, I get to read them both. I get two
So
messages.
that's what you get from
Right, Truman?
Truman, the actor.
Oh my God.
Well, he has to perform on the show.
Here he comes.
Yeah, but guess what? He's a natural.
Yeah, well, those are the best kind
What
of
does it
actors.
say?
right?
It says actor, affirmation, I know how to act properly and wisely in this situation. So to remind myself of the perfection of what we have already.
And this other
You know
one
we're talking.
is The Seeker, and it's all my art on the back and Monte's words on the front. It's The Seeker, which is what you were talking about, that each day
It's
we want to
what
grow
I
and
am.
find the truth. It says, I seek new friends and experiences to expand my awareness. So I think Truman's really going to like that. The new, he's
like-
a seeker too.
He likes the other dogs. Are you gonna breed him?
Yeah, we're gonna breed Truman, yes.
He's the seeker. He
He's the
seeks new
seeker.
friends and experiences.
He said he likes everybody.
He does, he loves everybody, he draws all these people to me, it's incredible.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
all our things come with the book, you know, so you can really, you don't have to know anything to use it, you can just start.
That's one of the things I like most about your stuff too, that they all came with these books. And it's like the tarot cards, I used to use those all the time. It makes me think I should go back to looking at them. Because,
That's an updated version, the big one comes with the book.
oh,
It
this
used to
one.
come just the cards. Truman.
Everybody wants to get into the,
Oh, can you,
Truman's have a
oh,
lot
I'm
of purple. Whoops.
don't worry. He's such a good dog. He doesn't even chew the cards.
This, this just came out, it's a redo of our Zerner and Farber tarot, but it comes with the big book. And people are so into the tarot now, I don't know, I mean, we know because we're in that field, but it's huge.
And
so fun.
I think people are into it because of, you think it helps the state of mindfulness?
Yes,
Totally.
definitely. And Amy was the first to do it on clothing. She did all her tapestries, and then she started putting them on jackets so she could explain to people what she did. And then she always had a special spiritual message in each one. And then all of a sudden you saw people who had gone into Bergdorf's and saw it started doing more spiritual couture. But Amy is the originator of that.
Well, it's a spiritual practice, and I think people are having their own connection to their spiritual source. You know, it doesn't have to be organized religion anymore, so.
Do you think we've moved along on the spiritual journey? Do you think we are more spiritually and mindfully aware today, or do you think we're less so?
I guess
I
we
mean,
are
I think we're more aware, but I don't think the media has caught up. They're still pandering to the older mindset, I think. This is my opinion, because the younger people that I meet today know what's going on. They don't seem like, they seem like they know what we have put into our stuff. I don't know if they've
No, I
read
did
our
read
stuff.
a statistic that the young generation Z, is it?
They're always a new one. It's like the new gun in town.
Instead of the news, they are more interested in spiritual things.
Yeah, well, because spirituality
why.
works, manifesting works. They want to have successful lives. They want to make an impact. They don't want to all be, you know, Rupert Murdoch. They want to have their bills paid and be healthy and have a happy life.
And a healthy earth and a healthy body.
Exactly, and
See-
and that's the goal.
Well, you know what's so wonderful, what you guys do that's so special. You give a lighthearted, almost candy-coated approach to this, that it doesn't get so serious,
Right.
and you give a playfulness to
But
it.
you can go deep while you're playing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can.
I mean, the playfulness is only on the surface, it's to
Yes.
draw you in,
Well, we
but
call
then
it
when you get
sacred,
drawn in, you
yes.
have to,
We call it sacred play.
sacred, is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we call them spiritual power tools, but I mean, we know about the sad part of life. We've had a lot of sad things, and we know that the ride ends at some point. But you got to enjoy the ride, because the ride is all there is.
Well, you know how they used to put for kids, like the pill and the applesauce, so it would be sweet.
So
I think that's what we do.
I have to give him Truman's heartworm with peanut butter.
Peanut butter is awesome, Truman.
Now, I wrote this down, was it the New York Times that referred to you as the Martha Stewart of the New Age?
Yes, yes.
I think that's,
And that was way back when.
really,
that was
when?
That was when she was first happening, big time.
Yeah, I think because the variety, you know, she had a show. And she
No,
did
but way back,
cooking.
because
I wish I could remember.
I was just looking over where, I think I went to, I found something about the documentary that had a bunch of quotes on it, and I saw this quote there, and I thought, it radiated to me, because that's how I think of you.
Yeah,
Oh,
nice.
thank
I mean,
Well, she's
I don't know,
amazing.
and I said, oh, the Times wrote that? And I said, this is how I see Amy, she's like this, and she just keeps getting, and I just love being in your presence, both of you.
Oh,
So
Thank you.
it's a pleasure to
I
have
feel
you
that
on the
way too.
show.
Thank you.